All right, you are back in the Dabble Den. Should be a great episode this week. Going to be talking a ton of exclusives and cool shows, media, and gaming coming out. I'm your host, Tori, and I'm joined as always by my two great other hosts, Dan and Danny.
How you guys doing?
What's going on, guys?
So, super excited this week to introduce our guest. He's one of our great Comic-Con friends. Guys, you're going to get to know him. You're going to get to love him. The moose is loose in the Dabble Den. We have Christian, a.k.a. Moose.
What's going on, guys?
What's
Moose.
up?
Since we're going to be talking exclusive shows and stuff, Moose, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell everybody what your big fandom is and what you're collecting.
Okay, well, I'm really big into the Marvel MCU specifically. I just love how it's such a woven tapestry and it's so beautifully done. It's kind of hard not to be a fan of it. Collection-wise, I started off with movie posters, kind of evolved a Funko obsession, and I had at one point like 300 of them. Kind of pared it down, only down to 50 now. But because of our friend Danny, I've started getting into the black hole that has figpins. So that's the newest obsession.
Welcome.
This is definitely not a cheap hobby to have in any
Oh,
way.
not at
So
all.
No, collecting in general is not.
It was great to have you, Moose, and that's a perfect segue since Danny has now got you hooked. He could show you his new fig pins that he got this week. Why don't you kick it to
All
him?
right. I wasn't as fortunate as others to be able to go ahead and get picked for the lottery, even though I was going to be an ECC attendee. But I was able to go ahead and pick up some things along the way. Some still in the mail, but I'm going to try to get the best shot as I can. I know the glare may be bad, but I got the
oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
my light's a little mess. He's such a big guy too. He's a XL green ECC exclusive one. Let's see. Normally I take them out of the packaging, but this time I'm not. So I have the Majin Vegeta. That was the Toy Temple exclusive. And Moose, so you have one going to be on the way soon here for you.
Yeah.
I have the Chase Hello Kitty. I know I talked to you guys about it, that it was going to come around. Oh, wait, did I already talk about it? I don't even know. So many things. I'm so overwhelmed with them. Wonder Woman. This was the ECC. It's not the Awesome Fest one. It's the regular ECC exclusive. The Awesome Fest had I believe it was the gold or silver backing. And then I know some of you guys got this. I know you guys claim you're not big on fig pins. Some have it with them. Some are still waiting in the mail. Boom.
Yeah.
This set was interesting because it was the one that I think it still may be available. Such a great set, such iconic characters. I'm happy to have it. If you haven't gotten it, try checking out Figpin. These still may be available.
Does it have like an ECC sticker or anything on it?
On the back, yes.
Okay.
So you have limited to 1,500. So that's a big edition size for Figpin right now. I think the most coveted one is 1,000, 500, 750. They're getting bigger and bigger. That one was the biggest, but that also kind of goes to show you where we're at right now. It's still growing. The fan base is still growing. 1,500 seems like a lot, but for something that iconic, great 2-pack that still potentially be available. It's we're still in a growing phase, but if right now I know that anything that is anime, My Hero gets snatched up real quick, and as well as Naruto. Again, I'm not a Naruto fan, but this is my little hint for the next show, anime. We're going to be talking about it.
All right. Well, thanks. That was a pretty big set for for a short amount of time. But we're super excited, guys. There is a ton of exclusives, amazing stuff that's dropped in the last week or two that we wanted to get on you guys' radar. And though I'll kick it off, even though we're not having Comic-Con this year, tons of companies are still releasing Comic-Con exclusives. And I want to start with Diamond Previews. I'll give full credit to the San Diego unofficial blog, which has been one of my sources for all Comic-Con info for quite a bit. So these Diamond Preview exclusives, quick heads up, You can buy most of these online, but you can buy them from your local comic book store. Each one comes with a code that you can go into any local comic book store, give them that code. It's the same price as you would buy online, but it's a way to support your local Comic-Con store is they're kind of recovering from COVID. So I would pitch go that way instead of online, but you guys are going to see an amazing lineup. Starting off with this Mandalorian, his Death Star armor. Pretty much every one of these pieces is limited to between 1,500 to 3,000. This 7-inch bust is like amazing looking. Then you got a turtle set. Comes with great packaging box, but you get all the turtles. You get Shredder. You get everybody in a cool little box retro set. Muppets. Everybody loves the Muppets. You get the entire band, the entire Electric Mayhem band reunited together in one box set. That was cool. Got a nice Joker statue, quite different from the typical one. So if you're a Joker completist, this one will be a great one for your set. Nightmare Before Christmas, the lighted action figure box set. You get Oogie Boogie, you get everybody. That thing looks amazing. Then we have a few Infinity Gauntlets for your deaths. These things are LED light up. You got Thanos, Iron Man. You can control and put the snap. Next up, you got an old school Tron VHS figure box set.
That is pretty cool.
If you're a Tron fan, you're not going to get much merchandise on that. So I would make sure and snap this one up. It's a good price at $40. Got a couple DC. We got a couple Funko things. Red Hood versus Deathstroke. This Deadpool zombie statue is awesome. You got Deadpool giving the thumbs up as a zombie. 1/6 scale bust. And then probably the ones that I thought were the coolest, and then especially for a great price point, you got a Venomized Spider-Man and a Venomized Iron Man set. These things look really, really cool. You got a Negative Suit Spider-Man PVC statue. If you're a statue collector or you're trying to get into statue collecting but not willing to drop to like $1,200, $1,500, these PVC ones are a great entry level to start like getting into statues. And this Negative Suit one looks great. Got an old school RoboCop with Kick Me on the back of him, painted up. Got a couple cool 80s stuff. Got another Predator PVC statue. Like I said, that's a great one. This Picard bust, lots of people online are talking about. Limited to 1701. This thing is like, I've seen it all over Twitter, everywhere. Everybody's talking about this thing.
I don't get it.
And then this Godzilla, we saw the Godzilla figpin. This thing is like, not to be too cliche, but this thing is hot. This thing is cool. And then we'll finish it up with the Iron Giant. I know Danny already hopped on this and grabbed this one. But if you're an Iron Giant fan, this thing looks great. 7-inch fully articulated figure. But you
It
can
lights
see
up too.
all of these came from Diamond, Diamond Previews, and then so we would have been scrambling at Comic-Con trying to grab these because Previews releases all different booths, so it's like a divide and conquer to grab these. We don't get Comic-Con, but all of you got a chance to grab these exclusives, and like I said, support your comic book store and go buy them there. What do you guys think? That's an amazing lineup all at once, huh?
That's a lot of good stuff. And some questionable stuff. Like, I don't know about that Picard. I don't get it.
Yeah.
That's actually a great release too. I think they did a smaller version of that bust a few years back, so this is actually a bigger size of that one.
Is there?
I'm gonna kick it to Dan. We got a ton to go through. That was a lot. That's all from one set. I'm gonna kick it to Dan to go through Bandai for us.
Oh man, and so just more exclusive stuff, premium Bandai. So there's the Bandai, and then you have the premium Bandai, right? Which obviously, when you get into the premium, you're going to have some really cool stuff. First on the docket today, we have the, Tony Stark figurine, and before Iron Man, right? Before he really starts, going down that nice, good role that we all love him and really just enjoy him as. And this is all part of the, Origins of Iron Man series they're coming out with. Fully articulated. They got him in the suit. They got him here in the, as he's making the Iron Man suit for the first time. And then just to be part of that whole suit there, we've also got him in the first Iron Man Mark One. Right there, it's just coming out of the tunnel. Great quality here. The pre-order has already been done for this one. The pre-order for the other one's coming out here soon. Great figures to get a hold of, and for not a terrible price either. Next one we have is if you guys are into Gundam at all and know the Gundam Wing series at all, this Gundam Astray Gold frame is absolutely phenomenal. Great articulation, great details done in it, and a beautiful figure. If you're into Gundam at all, this has got to be a must-have for you. And then the last one I've got to cover, not from Bandai, but we have the 112 Collective Wonder Woman. This is another great action figure for $85 too, which is really good. Comes with a lot of great accessories. The whole thing just comes apart and really done well. Lots of good accessories here. We've got her with a whip. The whole whip is able to move around and just do great stuff here. Again, the sword, shield, everything you expect out of a Wonder Woman action figure, really well done. I was really happy to see this one.
I'm a fan. That Mark One is cool. That Mark One, that thing is awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely going to go in the Marvel room.
All right, Moose.
All right.
What do you got for us?
All right. Well, coming at you from Entertainment Earth, we have celebrating actually 27 years since the opening of Jurassic Park. We have a couple different items. Mainly, I'm very fascinated by the Barbasol DNA replica. I mean, that thing looks so on point, so like the movie. It's unreal. But then also the classic opening scene of the gates opening up to Jurassic Park. Like, I was born when this movie came out. And so seeing it as a kid growing up with it, it just, that moment of wonder and amazement of like, hey, there's dinosaurs like alive on Earth. Like, how cool that could have been. But then we all know how that all ended up, and not really that cool. But then you have this awesome statue, 6-inch statue of the Dilophosaurus. Hey, I said that one right. The Dilophosaurus is by far one of the coolest dinosaurs to me, just about how interesting that scene is. You see him jumping in the cab, and it's a very, very standout moment to me. And yeah, that was your Jurassic Park moment.
Such good stuff.
Or Nedry. Nobody wants Nedry.
You kind of got to buy Nedry just to complete the Dilophosaurus scene, right? And you can't just have the Dilophosaurus.
What else you got for us, Moose?
Coming up, let's see. Actually, also coming from Big Bag Toy Store, you have 3 figures from the Marvel Universe. You have Peter Parker, Captain America, and Gambit from Mayfax. Very reasonably priced, honestly, for the detail that you get on these 3 figures. $95 and $105 for these figures is actually a steal of a deal to me, especially for that Gambit. I love that Gambit.
Yeah, there's a lot of people wanting the Captain America for the effect itself. I know that there was a Thor by, I think it was Diamond, I can't remember off the top of my head, but the effect piece was like the #1 thing people wanted. This Captain America with that effect piece is going to be highly sought after. And I guess if you're a Captain America fan like one of us here, you may want to add that to your set. But again, that Gambit is amazing. I am a Gambit fan. I love Gambit. 90s Gambit was amazing. This one with his suit, trench coat, energy pieces on his staff bow, amazing.
I can admit, looks-wise, figure-wise, the Gambit one looks better. I mean, I can freely admit that, but I gotta have the Cap.
See, for me, I gotta go with the Peter B. Parker trench coat, the sweatpants. I mean, just really does well at doing that character. But Mayfex is a great figurine. They've done quality stuff for years.
They do, and they have great articulation too. I think that's one of their stronger suits is where you can go in and really move and pose them pretty well.
Yeah.
All right, Danny, what do you got for us this time?
Well, I'm an action figure guy, so I'm going to stick with the action figure theme. I hope I'm supposed to be doing that. No, I'm not. I'm gonna go switch to the pins. I'm a pin guy, so if you don't know, I do love pins. I love fig pins, but I also love udon pins. So last year I got me my Sagat from one of the blind box things from udon, as well as the M Bison. So this year they were gonna have some great exclusives: Mega Man X. You have Monster Hunter. Great game. You're able to go in and get the little pins from every type of weapon that's used. Sailor Moon's on there. Macross is on there. There's a lot of great looking pins. They're stunning. I know myself, I'm a Mega Man guy. I'm going to pick those up. I played Monster Hunter quite a bit, Monster Hunter World, so I'm going to pick those up. The other ones, not as much, but again, I'm going to be vetoed on that one by one of our co-hosts here. They like the Macross. Don't know too much about it. But they're going to be at $15 a pop at the Udon store.
Hey, Mega Man's kind of an action figure.
Mega Man is awesome. All right. So I got ahead of myself. Really wanted to talk about these action figures. So I don't know if you guys collect Marvel Legends. I do. One of the hardest ones that I had trouble finding was Electro when it first came out in the last Spider-Man wave that had Electro in it. So I'm glad that they went ahead and re-released it in a retro pack. I went ahead and pre-ordered it first day. You guys can do it too. It's been out on pre-order for about 3-4 weeks now, but you get some really great ones. You got Electro. You got a new Spider-Man, retro-looking Daredevil, Gwen Stacy, Peter Parker. You get and the Green Goblin. You can't forget. I think Green Goblin was one a lot of people were having trouble finding the last time around. So they're on the retro packaging this time around. $19.99. You can find them still on Entertainment Earth, Amazon, wherever you get your action figures, your Marvel Legends. You can probably find them. Some people have the bundle for $120, $130 to get them all, so you don't have to go try to track them down individually.
I think Legend stuff is awesome. You know, you don't have to break the bank. And you know, they're releasing so many cool Marvel characters and then like waves of different stuff, and then you have the build a figure, you know, piece of it. And you still get like the hunt if you're a collector, you know, trying to find the one that's exclusive to Target or exclusive to here. And I just think it's a great line. They all look great. It's a great price point, and I'm a huge fan.
See, the hunt is great unless you don't have a good one around you. I don't have a good Walmart, so I ask anybody that ever goes to Walmart, can you please find me one of these exclusives? But yeah, the hunt is great. I love the hunt. I'm there if I can right when they open. There's always a group of people. You're like, are you coming here to try to get these Legends or something else? They're always either for Legends or Hot Wheels, apparently. But I'm running down these aisles trying to get them before anybody else does. But you know, I just want to go on that. It's not listed here today, but there's also another wave, the Strong Guy, if you like X Factor, that is also on sale right now for Marvel Legends. It has Deadpool and a couple of other Sunspot. Yeah, pick those up too.
Great stuff. And I guess before you kick into the next part, I just want to give a shout out to the team. If you guys aren't already following us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the team's doing an awesome job getting these exclusives out, plus tons more that we didn't even have time to cover. As soon as we hears about it, it's getting on us on social media. So follow if you're a collector.
All right, guys, I want to just kind of reel it in here, take a minute. I don't know what you guys are doing on Thursday, but if you guys were not online watching the PS5 reveals, PlayStation 5 reveals, there's something wrong with you. I don't care if you were at work, you needed to be watching this. This was amazing. So they went ahead and announced a whole bunch of lineup of games that they're going to be coming out with. They released the actual what the PlayStation 5 is actually going to be looking like. They have two models, one without a disc, so completely digital, one with a disc, new headset, new controllers, new cameras. They also went ahead and showed off later on in the day new exclusive, different style of PS5s. There's a Spider-Man one. That's going to be probably the one that I'm going to go ahead and pick up if it doesn't come too far after launch, because I'm most definitely getting the PS5 at launch. But if
Mhm.
you love games, Horizon 2 was announced. Spider-Man, Miles Morales, so the second Spider-Man game, which was amazing on the PS4, was announced. The new Resident Evil announced. Sackboy, the return of Sackboy, Little Big Planet, if you guys remember that, great platformer. This one looks like an amazing time, a lot of fun. What else? Oddworld, a new Oddworld. If you liked Abe, his Exoduses, I don't know who we're following this time, but it's an Oddworld game. It's going to be lots of fun. There was a cat game named Stray. The way I went ahead and described it, it looks neon futuristic, and you're a cat. There was just a ton of great stuff. A new Gran Turismo game. I loved Gran Turismo growing up. It looked wonderful, and that was a PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. I look at it, I'm like, that doesn't look so great like it does today. But the new one looks amazing, so realistic, and the driving is always realistic if you like realism in your driving. They had tons of great stuff, and we'll go ahead and cover a little bit more once we get closer to release dates on some of these. But I just really wanted to let you know, PlayStation 5, it's coming, the new generation. It looks amazing.
Someone's
Yeah,
really excited.
the controllers look cool, and then yeah, it's crazy how good a gaming console that one looks really good. Did they say are most of those going to be at release, or they phasing
No,
out?
no. Yeah, they're not. Some will be coming at a release. There were so many more titles that they went ahead and announced. One thing that they did go ahead and announce is that if you have PlayStation Plus, I think you're going to get Grand Theft Auto 5 on it as well. Which that's saying a lot about this game, because Grand Theft Auto 5, if you recall, was actually released at the end of PlayStation 3's life cycle. So it carried over to PlayStation 4, and now it's going to go into PlayStation 5. So you're going to have that, and they're going to give you a lot of in-game currency for that. So at least we know that we'll have a good game, even though it's generations old. But I think the online community is still strong enough where it's sustaining that game to keep going and going and going for a while. But yeah, there's a list of what may actually be launching, but a lot of stuff is going to be January or early next year as well. But hey, I
Last
need
of
to
Us
get my
2 is
PlayStation. I don't want to be one of the ones left on the holidays without that PlayStation.
I wonder
Hey,
if
just
it's
don't be
going
one of the guys that buys 12 of them and then sells it at an upscale, okay? Don't be those guys.
hopefully it's not like what the Wii hunt was when you were trying to grab the Wii when it came out. Like, I wonder if like COVID affected how many they actually made or anything.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, I was very excited about that PlayStation 5 on Thursday, and I know that 9 o'clock Pacific time, where I'm at, Hulu starts dropping new shows. So I actually was watching a new show at 9 o'clock. I was excited about Crossing Swords. So it's from one of the creators of what Robot Chicken. It follows a little Squire Man, little wood Squire Man. They're all wood, stop motion animation, little blocks of wood. All right. It doesn't sound very compelling, but an animation was so great. The problem is, for some of our viewers, it is not intended for children. It is a very mature show. In the first episode alone, just so you know, you're like, oh yeah, mature shows. That'll happen. That content will unfold after the second, third, fourth, or fifth episode. No, it's in the first one. You start seeing block boobs, block penises, a lot of people getting killed in different ways. Like, it's funny. It's a funny show. It gets stronger throughout the series. But I definitely recommend it. It is funny. It is crude at some points, a lot of the points. But it's a good watch, definitely.
That's cool.
Not,
So
not
I'll
much
go
adult,
ahead.
it's really adult friendly. Now that I think about it.
What's that? Did I say that? It's
So
adult, mature.
So I'll go ahead and do a couple movies first. So Artemis Fowl dropped on Disney Plus. Depending on you're watching this, but it's out now. That's really the first. I think it was the first casualty of COVID, and then it was supposed to be at the theaters. Disney decided to put it on Disney Plus instead. I'll say it's a good family movie. We're just talking about family friendly stuff. It is a good family movie. Not great by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's another failed attempt for a franchise. And then I'll preface it with, maybe I'm a little biased because we listened to all the books when my kids were little and loved them, and this is extremely rushed, and visually it looks good. It's a fun movie. You're not going to see a second one, so if you're interested, you better watch it.
Does it take place over the first book or?
No, they tried it. I think they crammed 2 books into one, and then even pulled a little bit of pieces and parts from other ones. They tried. I was telling my son, he's so lucky. It's amazing to he had Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter when he was growing up, and then since then it's been every studio throwing darts at the dartboard trying to land that next one, and they just can't do it. Marvel seems to be the only thing that's done this continuity. But other movie is The Five Bloods on Netflix, dropped on the 12th. It's a Spike Lee movie with Chadwick Boswick. Very relevant in today's times. It's half. I'm not going to say half. It's part history lesson too. Spike Lee does a great job. It's a really good movie. It's some Vietnam soldiers go back several years later to try to find the body of their friend, and also a ton of gold that they buried when they were in Vietnam, and then what happened trying to get that gold out. But it's a great movie in today's environment. It's really relevant. It's really good. Visually, I'm not a huge fan of the style he did when he went back in, when they're kind of doing the flashbacks. The movie itself is great. And then I'll finish up with a TV show that's coming out on Sci-Fi Wire on June 18th called The Great Debate. If you're not a San Diego Comic-Con person, you've probably never heard of this and know what it is. But their Sci-Fi's panel, The Great Debate, has been the highlight of Comic-Con for a ton of people for years. They just bring in some amazing guests from across pop culture, and then they debate on who's the best captain of Star, who's the best Star Trek captain, who's better, who's the best sidekick, who's the best robot. They cover everything. They have great improv people and comedians debate these subjects. Awesome show. Really looking forward to it. Moose, what do you got for us?
All right, so if you're looking for an escape from reality into a post-apocalyptic type world, then Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beast is hitting up with season 2 on Netflix. Complete Netflix original brought to you by DreamWorks Studios. It follows Kipo Oak and their adventures through this world filled with these beasts called mutes. They're mutant animals, pretty much. And it's just this adventure. It's very, very family friendly. It's a comedic, funny. It's got heart. It's got everything you'd expect in an animated show. But it's just a very, very touching, very whimsical. It transports you to a literal whole new world. And so that just dropped yesterday, actually, on Netflix, season 2.
It's a good one. We're halfway through the season already. It's like you guys are just talking about family friendly stuff. Can be hard to find sometime, and it's on Netflix. It's a good one. Nice. All right, Dan, why don't you close this out?
So for me, closing us out, I'm going to go with the last season of Supernatural is finally going to drop on Netflix. Now, while it's not a new show or anything like that, finally getting to drop on Netflix is now I'll finally get to be able to see it. I went to the panel in San Diego Comic-Con last year, and you could feel in the room of just how upset people were that the show was ending. And I'm happy that they're ending it. They're going to end it well. Super excited for it. If you're a Supernatural fan at all, I'm sure if you haven't already seen it, you're going to be ready to watch it when it comes out. But yeah, final season. We're all upset.
Moose, you're a big fan too, right?
Actually, no. It's been on the back burner for me. I've been waiting for a chance to watch it in entirety because like y'all talking about the streaming wars last week. It's one of those things I want to just be able to stream it all at once. And so that's now I have the opportunity to be able to do that.
All right, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate from our viewers, even from some of you guys. Is it any good? I've watched it in passing. I'm like, I don't get it.
I really like the chemistry between the two actors, and even when the angel comes in. Some of the episodes you're like, yeah, storyline, it's kind of like, okay, it's good. But, for a continuous, and there's a ton of seasons. So for a show that has gone on as long as it's had, and been able to say, what, now we're going to end it, and we're going to end it well without it going way off and being just a terrible show, I think it's a good one.
Cool. I might check it out one day.
I've never seen one either, but we have a lot of friends who are obsessed with it. But
There
guys,
was a couple of us on Sunday for Comic-Con waiting in line.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for joining us in the Dabble Den. That was an awesome time. We had a ton of exclusives to go over. Like we said, follow us on social media. You'll get that news as quick as we can. And then we are super excited. Danny kind of hinted about the next episode, but think this is number 5 or 6. This next one, these guys are obsessed with this one, so it should be a good one. Make sure and check us out next week. Have a good one. Thanks for joining us in the Dabble Den.
See you guys.